I'm not sure what it is with these American hotels and the terrible lighting. Not one place has had a roof light, which is obviously not ideal for the videos when the lighting is on behind me, and I can't even light up this room. It's almost getting dark, and this is where we're at. But anyway, they should be thinking more about us traveling YouTubers. Anywho, my team to start us off. We need to make another couple of trades. We're going to swing for the fences now. We're in a not a great position and had the 20 trades. So using two now leaves us with 18, but I'm really happy with the two trades I made. And I'm actually going to give Talakai another swing. I said I was going to trade him out, but it's worked out that I could move on, Bradley Schneider and also Chris Randall. I decided to move them both on for Nat Butcher and Cam McInnes. So I just had just enough money, 13K in the bank to get both those guys. And then this week I can give Talakai another crack. They're up against the Titans. So, for me to score well, Talakai is my best option. Well, rather than holding Randall, for example, or holding Schneider. I feel like this is a chance. If Talakai comes out and gets a 55 plus, then I'm in business, and he kind of holds where he's at right now in terms of his price, and I get a great score. He could go better than that. He could get a 23 again, but the Sharks should be better. Hines is back in the 7 position. The Blood and the young fella in the fullback position. So I think we can give him another crack rather than get Randall, who's going to play 50, 55 minutes, and get anywhere between a 30 and a 40. I can swing for the fence a little bit and go for Talakai. And there's a chance that Randall could lose some cash and Talakai as well. So either way isn't a big difference there. But Butcher comes in, and also Siasifa stays in with McInnes coming in as well. So Schneider out and Randall. And I think the team's set up fairly well now. I'm going to loop Walters there. So I've got Elliott to be able to do that. And, with Walters playing the first game, got a 43 last game. If he gets that again, I'm probably going to sneak Ilias down, if I'm honest. They come up against a tougher team this week they come up against the Canberra Raiders, but they're obviously coming off a win, is what I was meant to say, and it should be a fairly close matchup. He was on 12-13 at halftime, so I'm a little bit worried about him. I think King should be able to get some decent minutes. There's some talk of potentially a bunch of the Dogs players being out with COVID, for example, or COVID? Sickness, illness, something, whatever it is. But he could potentially play a few more minutes if there's a few guys out. I know there's a couple of outside backs, but potentially some forwards as well. So that's my side at the moment. We've got Elliott to use as loop. We've got Kola and Tuolangi. Tuolangi I'm just going to use, leave down there. And if he happens to start, I can move him into my interchange, for example, for King, something like that. Could be ideal there. In terms of the rest of the guys, obviously I'll just move Cotter up into the hooking position. And if you only have the two hookers guys, whether it's Starling and Cotter, now that you've got rid of Randall, then I would move Cotter up into that position. Because if Starling was in your hooking role there, Cotter was in your starting mids. If Starling was to happen to not play, and again, I'm already worried about Sticky and what he could do, you wouldn't get a replacement. Cotter would stay in the mid position. He wouldn't move up in there. He'd have to be on your interchange to do that. So I thought I'd put Cotter in the starting, and Starling could move up into that position if I happen to have an issue there. Anyway, that's the theory. McInnes, Haas, Tamalolo up top, hoping for big scores from all of them. If I can get over 50 for all three of those, we'll be in business. I'll be happy with that. Talakai, again, hoping for over 50. Dylan Brown needs a bit of a bounce back. And hopefully Aitken plays, definitely. And Penasini has a decent one against a fairly tough team there. Hines there, I'm going to leave him as vice. Leave Cleary as captain. Taylor May. And also Crichton up against a solid side, obviously, in the Roosters. So that'll be a fun game to watch. And, Ilias, Butcher, King, and Starling in the interchange with Walters as the loop. So that's the squad at the moment. Just swinging for the fences a little bit. We need a bounce back week. If we can get down to about the 3,000 mark overall, that would be sick for this week. All right, the head-to-head squad. We make one trade. So we still, we had 22 at the start and just decided to make one. I was just short of being able to get Cam McInnes, for example, for Randall. I needed 634, so I needed 35K remaining. I only have 26. So unfortunately, that's the way it's gone. And I actually have decided to, listen to a few people actually as well. A few people have been saying it. And once I've done my analysis a bit further, I definitely agree that Schneider, great chance he just doesn't come back into the 13, to be honest. And then Fogs is going to come back eventually, whether it's around 15, 16, whenever that is. I just feel like Schneider's potentially lost his round 13 position. And for me here, with the extra trades remaining, I can trade him out and not hope that he comes back in. For example, if you're sitting with these amount of trades, 20, 21, 22, I think that's probably the way to go. Just you can trade him out and not hope for it. If you've got Elliott, for example, I'd hold on to him. I think he's a good chance of coming in this week or at least next week, and he should be playing. In round 13 there. But Butcher comes in for Schneider this week. You're going to see him in each of the teams. He was the one I was saying is very much a must-have this week. I think, or next week is fine. But Hastings, Hunt, we're hoping for great games from them as well. Big game from Teddy would be cool to go along with Burton would be awesome, and Cook another decent score as well. And going Paps as captain again, I feel like it's pretty solid. I think Hines is probably also a great option if you want to play that one. Obviously against Gold Coast, I might decide to play him. We got Paps up against Manly. Gee, I'm tempted to go Hines, eh? I might do it. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think I've just changed my mind. I think I'm going to go for Hines. Back at 7. He got 44 last week in a pretty terrible effort, to be honest, in terms of, for him and the whole team. So, yeah, I think I'm changing my own mind here. Walters, again, we're going to loop in this one. We've got Tuolangi sitting there. We can swap him in for Ilias or Randall if we wanted to, or King, for example. We could do that as well and move Butcher up to King, for example, and pop him on the interchange or out of the side. But that's the that's that squad. It's obviously coming really good. We're second last week and 26 overall. So for any of those guys that are up there in the top 50, you now get to see my trades, and I'll leave you with a little bit of suspense on the captaincy, but definitely a great chance of changing to Nico this week. The one trade I'm really going to dominate through the buy rounds with this amount of trades left. You all should watch out because I'm coming. Obviously, a few guys to get rid of eventually. Randall, Tass, I'll have to get rid of him. I want to. With the trades I have, I'll use him as a trade out option. Tuolangi's going to go as well. And then potentially someone like Ben Hunt will go. Not sure how we're going to play the Payne Haas, Cook, Teddy. There's a bunch of guys there. Obviously don't have Cleary, which helps in that moment. And Hines is going to be out too. So I could potentially trade out one of those guys as well. It's going to be very interesting. I think I'm sitting with 9 players ready for round 13 at the moment, but obviously heaps of trades in the bank. Okay, People Squad, we decided to make 2 trades, and of course, Mr. Trent Peoples gets a chance to make the People Squad, and I'm surprised he wasn't in there from round, the first game that he played, but he gets his shot now. We're going to play him this week in a big minute role on the edge for the South, so we're pretty excited by that one. At 260k, I think he's definitely the best cash down option this week. Guys like Wolford, we don't know enough about, and I'm just too scared of what Mr. Ricky Stewart's going to do, but yeah, People Squad, we bring in Mr. Peoples, and we bring in Nat Butcher as well, who are both on the interchange there for Chrissy Randall and also Schneider. So they both go. Again, going to be playing Ilias, it looks like. Tuolangi plays the second game of the week, so we are going to loop him. They come up against the Dogs, is that right? Yeah, come up against the Dogs. So Maxi King sticks on as a vice captain. I swear Cleary better play every week, otherwise I'm going to be a little bit upset. But Tui, we're gonna loop him in number 5. And we have Elliott to do that as well in the squad. So that's the team at the moment. Obviously looking really good. Got 837 last week and made a bunch of ranks, so we're pretty happy with that. The overall rank of 106. 2 trades there to get to 19 remaining after this week, and 149k in the bank. And the guys we'll be looking to move on, obviously Tui eventually. Blake Taff, I think at round 13 will be a good one to move on. And we actually traded out Vitalea this week. I forgot to say. We already removed Schneider last week for Elliott. That's right. So Chris Randall and Vitalea, we've decided to go with him. Obviously, you could potentially get us a few points in round 13, but I think the guys just had enough, and they didn't even vote for David Moale out. They just voted for Vitalea at the same price, which is interesting. But yeah, team's looking really good. Grant, Pupley, Haas, Jackson, Brown, Cleary, and obviously Hines and Teddy in there as well. And obviously a great score from the Mr. Peoples himself would be delightful. But that's the trades video for the week. Let me know what your thoughts are on the trades below, and yeah, jump in those comments if you like this, get around it. If you want to subscribe, that would be great also. Hitting good numbers, and I appreciate all of you sticking with me while I'm on holidays, putting out the content. Just came off a big flight into Minnesota, so I'm excited for the VCon conference, which I'm here for the next 5 days. So that's that, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Catch you in the next one.